Yeah, man, here we go again. New stream, new day. I'm a bit late. I wanted to start earlier, and I even wanted to get out to get some stuff from the storage, and I didn't even get to that. But this morning I did some message processing, as I call it, and I did some prepping of parts. So I prepped some edge connectors, I prepped some cases and other stuff. And before you know it, it's almost 4 o'clock. All right, so. I did some minor changes with the cameras. I have three cameras at this moment. So you have seen this one. This is the Logitech Brio, the best one I have at the moment. It's a USB 3 webcam, which should go up to 4K, but I haven't got it any higher than 2K with a decent frame rate. At 4K, it's only 15 frames per second or something. So that's not really useful. There is a new version of this camera, but it's expensive enough, so I will stick with this one. I might just try to find a DSLR camera in the future and a HDMI capture card on a high resolution, because that seems to be the best quality that you can get instead of using a USB webcam. But anyway, so this one you've seen. You've also seen this one here. So the one at the back, it's a Logitech 922. It's a very well-known webcam. So it's not as good as a Brio, but it's of course more affordable and does a decent job. That's what you can say. But there are also other quality webcams. You can call them shit qualities, like this one here. What can I do about it? Oh, before going on, by the way, let's share the link again, as always. Let me check if everything is set. I think so. And then we will go on. I know this is not. Let's switch to the other camera, otherwise people will go mad. All right. Yep. So we got the link here. I'm going to share that. There was another reason, by the way, that I was late today, and that's because I didn't feel well because of the toothache. I got a slight toothache. It's not too bad, but I didn't sleep well. That's what you get. So I made an appointment with the dentist, and it's tomorrow, because today I wanted to do some more streaming, and tomorrow afternoon I will go to the dentist. Hopefully he can treat me immediately, and then we're done. All right, let's get back to the camera quality. So as I said, I've got a one from years ago. You can see it's from years ago. It's not the best quality. It's the worst quality you can imagine. It's 720p, I think, but you can see there's a lot of noise in the picture. So the quality is obviously very poor. I'm even thinking maybe it's dirty, but no, it's not really dirty. That's not the cause. um, so I was already trying to check if I can find a better third camera. So this is actually the one that I'm using now, the Logitech C2070. It's €20. It's really it's don't buy it. It really surprised me that it got 4 stars. Let me close Outlook here, because otherwise we will get some more ka-ching sounds. So now the question is, which one should I get? So maybe I can be easy. Let's first put it on 4 stars and more. Then I want a couple more reviews, like 6 at least, something like that. And I want a minimum resolution. So I don't want cameras with a maximum resolution. These two, this garbage. Come on, we don't want that. One result? What? How is that possible? Okay. What happened here? So let's put this down. Oh, I get more results when I put down the minimum number of reviews, but still the C920 comes on top, and I have the 922, so the 920 is good as well. It's a Full HD camera, and it's a lot better than the C270. But I think it's too much money for such a simple thing like a webcam. It's €60. So I wonder if I should spend money on that. I could even get another C922, because I have that and I know the quality is good. So I might prefer that, but it's €20 more than the 920. So I'm a bit doubting what I should do here. Let me check if let me check if there are people in the chat. Let's switch this camera here first, and let's see. I also have some music in a second. Okay, in a second. I think people should come in. The stream is live, so let me check if people are actually seeing. Yeah, I think so. They should be able to see the video here. Yeah, I can see it myself, so that's not a problem. All right, let's just wait a bit. Okay, and now I'll get back to the stream. No one's coming in, so I wonder what it is. Maybe people are still at work. That could be a reason, of course. That's no problem. They can watch it later if they want to. Oh, some people are coming in now. I was just a bit early. All right, so about this camera here. So I wonder, should I get a third decent one? Because this is, if I'm doing work here and the work that's with this camera, it's garbage. And I want to have a third one. So what should I do? Should I buy one? Nothing else and keep it with this? Or secondly, should I buy another C922 for about €80, which is a lot of money for a simple thing as a webcam, in my opinion? Or should I even buy another Brio, like this sharp one here, which you can use to cut my hairs on my head? Please let me know what you think. I'm doubting a lot. Let me know in the chat or let me know in the comments. What should I do? And if you think you should just buy a decent one, so I was just showing some options here. Well, at least should be the 920, maybe the 922. And I've already checked used cameras, but I guess people don't tend to sell their webcam if it's a good quality one. You know, why should you? Don't have much other options. I have a laptop with a webcam, but it's even, I guess it's bad quality as well. So nope, let's not bother about that. Let's get back to the live screen here. All right. So we finished yesterday with working on a issue 2. We started with that. It booted up partially and it got a bad video output. So I guess we will continue with that. First, let's put in some music. Not too loud. Alright. I hope it's not too loud. Let me know if it's too loud. I don't think so. Just have to put my amplifier a bit down. Alright. So the board we're working on is the one here. Oh, sorry. This one here. Before continuing on that, I just received this brass solder iron cleaner. How do you get it out? Oh, you can. No, I don't know. Okay, it's in a bag, so I will open it up because I wanted to switch to this type of cleaning solution instead of the water with the sponge. And I have absolutely no idea if this will work well, but we have to see. I'm going to put it here for now. Here maybe. And let's continue with the issue 2 board here. Okay, so extraction hood on. Please let me know if you're in the chat because I see some people coming in, but I have no idea who it is. But anyway, I will go on with my work. Oh man, the quality is so bad of this of this camera. Sorry about that, guys. Oh man, it's so poor. Oh, I should do this now. It looks quite clean. It's nice. I'm going to do a couple of more things. I'm going to remove this wire here. It's ugly, and I'm going to remove some of the solder here because it's ugly, because there's too much on there. Let me suck away a bit. By the way, I just read on Facebook that there is a poll going on for second Center Spectrum Next Kickstarter. I'm curious what it will mean. I wonder if why they do a Kickstarter, because if they now have the production going on for the current batch. Why not put them in a web shop in the future? Why should you crowdfund them again? But okay. Maybe the investments are still too big to just put them in a web shop, keep stock. But I think it's a good thing that that there will be more, of course. That's what I expected anyway. Cheap side cutter doesn't work with thick pins like this. Okay. So let's get the old capacitors off this board. And I think yesterday I was talking about that there's one capacitor on this board which the polarity is wrongly written on the board itself. So we have to be careful with putting in the new capacitor. I will show you in a second. Wouldn't surprise me if the board is perfectly running after swapping the caps, so we will see about that. And as yesterday, I probably will split the stream from today in 2 parts, or maybe 3 even, because it's. I think it might be better for the people that come from work, for example, and I will go down to the kids. So they have some attention as well. I have to get the issue 2 cap map on screen. Let me check them on my website. It's the best, of course, the easiest way. Capacitor maps, capacitor maps. Yep, capacitor maps, issue 2. Okay, let me show you what I'm looking at. So I got a page with the capacitor maps, so that's easy. I will use that. I'm going to have a small bite in between because I'm hungry. I have coffee. Oops. Got so many of those aluminium things. Way too many. But I don't dare to throw them away because, for one, people will probably hate me for that. Throwing original stuff away. You might never know what it can be used for in the future. Maybe we can sell it for reuse. Maybe they can use it to make another Commodore 64 batch. I'm just joking. We don't want that to happen, don't we? Right. touched the end, it was hot, can happen. I won't die. Alright, so what I forgot is to show you that one of the capacitors is wrongly written on the board, and it's actually the one here. So this capacitor, where it was on the board, it shows the plus side on this side, but it's actually on the left side. And if you scroll back the video, you will see that the capacitor is actually aimed to the left instead of the right. Yummy. So sometimes the manual solder sucker works better than the automated one. Nope. I really have to use it. Do it manually. Yep. It works. Alright, so most capacitors are out and the holes are open. A couple more, and we're going to put the new ones in. Right. Seems to work better, but I have to get used to this, you know, the brace solder cleaner. Alright. The camera should be a bit up. Yes, that's better. I don't know why it got down. Maybe it's because of the... I hope it's stable now, because I put it up before I started. Anyway, I think it's good now. Okay. Let me switch to my capacitor map for the issue 2 again. Because otherwise I cannot do this job properly. Alright. Sorry about that. a lot cleaner when I put it in the braze solder iron cleaner. So I think I like this a lot more than the sponge. It's very cheap, by the way. This only costs €2 or something, including shipment from China. So I guess I will buy a couple more because the brass will be filled up with solder in the future, of course. Some people tend to think that stuff like that should last for years, but that's not what I think. I think the stuff that you use a lot, I'm happy if it lasts for a couple of weeks. It's not expensive, you know. It's cheap stuff. It's cheaper than a beer. Right. Okay, one on top. 22. Then 2 on the left. Two on the left. There's only one. Oh, sorry, we're looking at the wrong one. Looking at the one here on the capacitor box. That's for issue 2, 3 and above. I do sell 2 kinds of capacitor kits, by the way, so you can get them at Satisfaction the shop. So the ones for issue 2 and the ones for issue 3 and above, because there are some major differences between those two. So you can grab a kit easily. You have to look at them all up, all the parts, and I don't think they're too expensive. Alright, one more 22, and that goes right below the modulator here. So it's a bit hidden. Because of that, it's a bit tough to get out. It's certainly not impossible. Alright. Right will go to the plus will go to the right for this one. And then I will keep it a bit above the board so we won't touch my parts. That's good enough. Solder it in. Okay. So far so good. I will replace the composite video wire because it's ugly as it is now. Oh, my coffee has been emptied. These are Dutch. So these are called krentenbollen, and we Dutch people, we like strange food, you know. So again, if you just joined, please let me know if I should buy a better camera for the first camera, which I'm using now at the work desk. So we're about to solder the last two capacitors in, and one of those is flying, so you can call it. So it's connected between two other parts. I don't really like the way they done that, but better than not having the necessary capacitors on the board, of course. Alright, I got a wire here. I don't want to use the finished wire for video because it's important that it's good enough quality, of course, but it's not that important to find an isolated cable or something. Just a simple wire is good enough. It shouldn't be the thinnest you can find. It should have some thickness. Right, let's get the old one out. Because it doesn't look very nice. Let's get the new one in. Is the camera coming down again, or is it me? Oh. Well, I really like the way this cleans instead of the sponge. It's a lot better. So brass, solder, iron cleaner or something like that. Look for that, and you will find it on either eBay or AliExpress or something else, somewhere else. Maybe locally, I don't know. Of course, you can pay a lot more, but I always think if we can make it for €1, then why should I pay €15 in Holland or something? And it's quite nice. Look like you cannot see it here, but it's so clean compared to outboard focus. I don't think this camera is out of focus even. Shit thing. All right. Hey Louis, this is an issue 2 board. I removed the heatsink which was here. We will do another test. Oh, sorry, we need to do 2 more capacitors. I'm checking if I'm not forgetting any other capacitors. I don't think so. Also, I'll always find it important to check if I didn't make any solder blobs causing shorts. Especially on issue 2, by the way, because the tracks are more close to each other at some places, so keep an eye on that. All looks well here. So the next thing is replacing those two, so that those are 4.7 radial type, so not the axial type, and a 22 axial type. And we can get rid of, whoa, I'm dropping it, we can get rid of the rest. And all capacitors I use for 48K boards are all VISA capacitors, so even the radial ones. Oh no, these are BC, it's another brand that I see. I thought I had the same brand, but it's not a big issue. But they're blue, that's the most important, they're blue. Oh, okay. Let me see, the plus is the left pin, yeah. Okay, I'm just checking which pin of the capacitor is the positive one, so I know how to put it back. Right. Okay, this one is a bit tough to get out for some reason. I think that because there's much solder on it, old solder, but it's out. Yep. So it's clean. Let me check because there's so many tracks there. But this is good. Yeah, it's because of the ULA type that this one has an extra transistor. And I guess it can be on several places on the board. Just combines the signals, something like that. For the ULA, I think it was something to do with keyboard. I'm not sure anymore. Okay, and the last one. So I think it's important to keep the board as original as possible, because lots of these ZX Spectrum boards have factory modifications, and I don't want to mess with that. So I tend to keep them as they come in and hope that no one else has done strange modifications to them. It's like the one I had yesterday with the ruined resistors on top, and on the at the ULA socket. Okay, this is a bit hard because this capacitor should go up a bit, as it otherwise will interfere with interfaces that plug in onto the edge connector, and we don't want that. So I'm lifting it a bit up, and maybe I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's now aimed up a bit, so the interface can go on without any issue. So that's done. I can see a solder block there. I don't like that at all. I think I did it. Right, it's clean. So we can do another test, and then we will replace the 5-volt regulator, and we'll check if there's we can do tape loading. But first, let's see if it's stable. It's the most important thing for now. And I'm going to ask for some more coffee, because I'm really into some coffee now. Fortunately, it's one phone call away to downstairs. So we have a couple of these phones here, which is quite useful. Ja, mag koffie? Okay, doei. Hey, that was easy. So we're going back to the other side, and we're going to do some testing. First, let's see if it boot up correctly now. No. What is wrong? Clearly something is wrong. That's odd, because it did more before I did these changes. So either I soldered something causing a short or something, or there's something else going on. Okay, we don't have minus 5 volts, so that's an issue. Alright, so there's a power circuit issue still. I guess the edge connector needs to be cleaned before doing more testing. So I have to replace 2 transistors for the power circuit, because it seems there's no minus 5 volt, and I'm not sure, of course, if that will solve the minus 12 volt issue, because it could be that one of the RAM chips is bad. We don't know that, so we have to check. I'm going to remove the sponge for now, because I'm still automatically tend to use the sponge, so remove that first. Now let's replace the transistors here. Oh, sorry. Okay. With TR5, which should be at 213. Its free weight is not on all the time, but it's the same. So 753. Switch to the disk again. And let's swap TR4 to 650. And if this doesn't solve the -5 volt problem, then it's probably we have some dead chips there. Well, I think I got them from Farnell ByteDelight, but you can buy them at ZX Spectrum shop. That's the easiest way of obtaining those BSA capacitors. ZX Spectrum shop and the spares and parts and spares section in the web shop. Okay, let's check if the board has a -5 volt line now. Nope. So we still don't have a -5 volt. So I'm going to first get the schematic, and then I'm checking. I will check if it could be another part, like the Xena diode, which could realistically be the cause of this problem. Otherwise, it can be a dead chip. So we could measure the impedance on the -5 volt line. That's one solution. But removing chips is more work. So first, let's see if it can be something else. So I'm going to get the schematic on screen. So there it is, and the voltage circuit is here. So the -5 volt is made out of this Xena diode, capacitor to buffer the output, and D12. So we can measure those diodes here. So it's D11 and D12. So D11 should be, sorry, D16 should be the Xena diode. Let's switch to the work disk again. Alright. Okay, that's one way. I'm not sure if this multimeter can actually measure them, so let's get a 5 volt Xener from stock and see if it should work or not. I might have some used ones as well, but let me try to use a new one. But what I want to know first is, just a second, I think there's some lag is still sticking out. It feels like that, but I don't see, oh here it is. Now we can move the board around. And so what I want to know is if the multimeter does a good job in measuring the It won't stay down, of course, here. Yeah, it will. Okay. Let's see if we can measure the Zener diode without much hassle. No, there's no way of doing that. So I guess we will replace it. And because this is a 5V 6 Zener diode, it's not the correct type. So I better get a 5V 1, and for that I need an original one. Let me check. Where did I leave those diodes? Yep. I see one here. And if it's in this, oh, it's untested. It says untested, okay? Because sometimes I test these parts and I put a label on it where it says tested. But still, it could also be D12. So before continuing with swapping parts, let's see if D12 is okay. As far as we can tell this way. I'm not sure. Let's get it out. At least on one side. We'll use the other multimeter because it has the clamps. So if you don't know these multimeters, these are the cheapest and the most awesome multimeters you can get, because they have auto ranging, and also they can measure capacitors with the lead, so you don't have to put a capacitor in the multimeter itself. So it's really complete. It has a frequency meter, it has a diode meter, and everything else. Oh, even in the temperature meter, but for that I think you need a thermocouple. I'm not sure. I haven't checked that. But it's very complete, and it's only, I think, 18 euro something. So if you need a multimeter, this is one of the best ones I can advise. It's so cheap, hence I have two. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this diode. Let me see if there's something else. Could be a cause. We have D15, but it's for the 12 volts, I think. Yep. And we have the C27, C47. Where's C47? C47. Which one is C47? Because I cannot find it. It should be right around the 5V circuit. So. Oh wait, it's this one. Okay. Yeah. Let me check if I didn't create any solder joints, which should be there. Because if you make a mistake yourself, it's sometimes the most frustrating thing you can do. And to find the cause can be time consuming, so make sure that everything you solder in is properly soldered. Okay, nothing wrong. So it's either most probably it's either the Zener diode or one of the RAM chips. I still think it's something in the power circuit, so I will replace the Zener diode in a second. But before doing that, there's one more diode that I can measure. Nothing wrong with that one as well. Okay, so let's swap the Zener and let's see if that does make a change or not. And there's one way of making sure that it's one of the RAM chips. That's by cutting the 5V line on the board. Oh, I was about to replace the Zener, yes. By cutting the 5V line on the board, that goes to all the RAM chips, and then checking the -5V, and if it's okay then, so you know for sure that's one of the RAM chips. But then the question, of course, is which RAM chip is causing the trouble, because they're all parallel on the -5 volts, you know. So it's quite hard to find out, but we will try anyway. But first, let's see if the Xena diode is dead or not. So I got a spare here. To be honest, I haven't tested this, but it's came from a board that I pulled all parts from because it was so bad. Like sometimes you have boards, and I know people say you just have to go on until it's fixed, but you know, I'm doing this for a living and I got so many boards, so sometimes I choose to use a board as a donor board. It's quite normal in this industry, you know, so nothing special. And we'll get you lots of spare parts. As you know, I have many RAM chips. Those come from boards I put down in the past. Okay, so we will take one multimeter to see if we can actually measure across the Xena diode, and we will, if we get 5 volts or not. Before doing that, let me check the chat. I don't know, but about the volume for, I guess you were talking about tape players. But what I do know is that there are so many different tape players with so many different voltage levels that it can be voltage level, it can be impedance, it could be anything. So a good tape player for computers, retro computers, should have a volume slider on it. That's what I think. Let's get to the other side and see if we made any change now. Nope, still not. So the next thing is, I'm not going to measure it. I want to cut the 5 volt line. So I just said, so we can find out if there's something wrong with one of the chips. It must be. Let me drink some water. That's my throat. The good thing about a -5 volt is that it's only used by another coffee, by the way. It's only used by the RAM chip, so that's easy to find a track on a board that you can cut. And of course, don't forget to connect later on again. Let's see. I think this is -5. On the schematic, it's one side of the 12, I guess. Let me check. Just a second, guys. -5 is on pin 1 of the RAM chips. Okay, so I know which side of D12 that is. I just have to follow the tricks visually, see what a good place is to cut it. Just a second. So I think I will cut it on the side of the board. It's quite easy, and it's also quite easy to
fix again. And the good thing is that for the die card, it's split before this cut now. So the die card will show me if there's a -5 volt after cutting this. Right, so the cut has been done. We check. Yep. Alright. So next step is to try to check if the -5 volt is coming back now. Hey Peter. Yeah, we have -5 volts. So I don't have any video output. I have video output, but the RAM is doing nothing, so lower RAM. So I know that there's a fault in one of the RAM chips, but the question now is which one. So there is no easy way of trying to find that out. So the best thing that I can do is just cut pin one by one of the chips here, and hope I will quickly find the one that causes this short here on pin 1. I'm doing it over there, of course. That's more easy. But let's see. Oh, of course, it's not useful when you don't have when you just cut the track. But I could also, what I just said, I could also measure the impedance of on the -5 volt line. I forgot about that, so let's do that. And the trouble is, there's no easy way of deciding to measure that to ground or to -5 volt. But okay, it's clearly you can. This is a clear sign. Let me show you what I mean. Let's get to the work disk. So I have the multimeter here, and I'm measuring pin 1 from one of the chips to ground. And if you see 0 ohms, okay, 1.9 ohms, then you know there is indeed a short. And it's not from the first chip, because I cut the lag from that one. It's 490 kilo ohms, so that's not a problem. So we're going to continue cutting. This is easily to fix again, of course, until we find the chip that causes this issue. Okay, we have one chip here that causes the low impedance, so that's 1. But we still don't know if the rest is okay then, so let's check the other one. Same problem. So we got a couple of dead chips, but I don't know which ones, so we're going to continue. So the third one is now, come on, measure something. I'm not sure why it's not measuring. Let me check. I think this chip is okay because measuring nothing is okay. Let me just put a line on the one that actually is bad. So this one here, it should go out. This pen is empty. I think I will throw it away. I can get a pencil as well, it's more easy, but I have another pen here. So. Okay, so this one should go out. Let me check. So the third one seems to be okay. Let's cut the fourth one, because there's still a short, of course. Oh, it's not. There's not a short anymore. That's odd. Huh? Because I did just cut this one, and this one doesn't seem to have any problem anymore. Okay, this is strange. That's odd. Maybe the cut is not complete or something? Let me check. Well, the cut is complete. Oh wait, the cut on the second chip is still on there. It seems. Okay, it's gone now. But what I don't understand is it's odd. Okay, let me check. Let me continue checking. What? It's okay. Heck. I said pin 1, didn't I? Let me check. What easy way is there to do with an oscilloscope? What do you want to do with an oscilloscope on which issue? Because I don't see the issue that you want to check with the scope. I have a scope. Okay, let's get back to the schematic. Where is it here? What am I doing wrong? It's obviously on pin 1 of the chips, so minus 12 volts. Yep. Oh. Let me check. Strange. So I'm checking why I get different results. Maybe it's the polarity of the cables. That could be the cause. Let me check again. Nothing wrong here. Nothing wrong there. That's very odd. There's nothing wrong here, it seems. This is dynamic impedance, no problem. So they should be the same at all pins because they're connected the last 5 chips. So here's nothing wrong anymore. But let me swap the cables and see if I still get the same result. Yeah, okay, that's good. This is all parallel, so there shouldn't be any difference here. Otherwise I will be puzzled. Okay. But I don't know why... Oh, no. No, it shouldn't be a problem. I don't know what is happening, because I just got a lag before it was obviously shorted. And now if I measure the same lag, I cannot find any short anymore. So I'm going to solder this one pin back because I'm getting some strange results now. Okay, I need some wick. I always have some wick laying around. I actually have some wick laying around, but I didn't check well, so that's a new one. Alright. Okay, I put the pin 1 back from the second chip. That seemed to have a clear short to ground. So it actually does have a short to ground. You can see it clearly here, which would mean that the other chips now also will... No, they don't. I have no idea what's going on here. What the... How can I measure short to ground in this pin? And when I measure the pin that should be connected to that one as well, I don't see the same short. Let me check. So you can see these are connected to each other. Exactly what I expect. But how on earth can one chip that... just a second. How can one chip, one pin that goes to... that is shorted... This is 10 ohms. This is 1.7 ohms. If I press a bit harder. How can this not be shorted on the other pins? Why is this 350 kilo ohms? This is odd. What on earth is going on here? This really puzzles me. So I have absolutely no idea what's going on, because I'm measuring pin 1 of all the chips, and I did measure a short. How is this possible? So I'm really puzzled. what is going on? Let me check. Oh wait, what the hell? What happened here? There's a huge solid blob here. What the hell? I didn't do this. What is this? Look closely. See here, see that solid blob there? Let me check. That way. Where's my finger? Oh, here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a huge solid blob on top of a diode. Did I do that? That's odd. I think the previous owner has done this when he was working on the modulator, and I just see it just now. So this is odd. So there are some strange shorts here. I should inspect the board a bit better in the future before doing anything on it. So that's my bad, if you can say that. Right, we found another fault, like the three broken resistors yesterday. So someone has done some strange things with the board and didn't pay attention. But fortunately, I did after a while. Not completely at first, but still some solder underneath the capacitor here. Man. Okay, so that's cleaned up, and now I guess we will get the results we are expecting. Maybe the 5 volt has already been fixed now, because there was a huge blob of solder on several tracks. Yeah, that's true, but I do some inspection. I'm looking at the board, but I didn't see anything obvious, and it was because there was a lot of shiny metal, because this issue 2 board doesn't have a solder mask on it. So you can see a lot of shiny metal, and I just overlooked that huge solder blob on there. So that's gone, and that might solve all the problems with the minus 5 volt, but I'm not sure, so we'll go to check. Yeah, it does. Oh man, so I cut all the stuff without any reason. It seems all the problems are gone now. So let's fix the pin 1s that I cut. That was odd. Alright, so we fixed the 3 pin 1 connections. That looks quite good. Yes, that's good. And now we're going to fix the connection we made, or the cut we made, and I'm going to fix it with a smart piece of lag of the old capacitors or new capacitors. I'm just going to put it in and solder it up on top of the track on the board. That's good enough. Oh. Yes, nice job. Okay, do a last check with impedance check. So the chip was good after all, so we can remove the marking on that. Yeah, so the impedance goes up, and it's about 300 kilo ohms, so that's good enough. There's no more short. What will probably mean that this board is fixed now and can be tested. Well, the problem with visual inspection is that it's not always there's not, of course, not always something visibly defective, and that's why I tend to use measurements and to find the cause of the problem. Okay, so we sorted out a couple of problems. I guess that the original transistors were okay, but it's not a problem to put in new ones. These are a bit stronger, so they can withstand a lot of more abuse, if you can call it that. Okay, so let's do another check. Yeah, it boots up fine. Except for die card, but that might be because I don't think I've cleaned the edge connector yet. Let's give it a good clean. Doesn't seem that dirty. Oh, it is dirty. It's dirty. It's just not really noticeable from the contacts itself. It's quite dirty, so it's good to clean it. You can see colors are not perfect, but we have a simple method for that. Oh. Okay, I don't know what. Is it a cable? I think the cable is bad. I think I should put on a plug in this. And then I will show you the easiest way of calibrating the colors on an issue 2 board. And Peter helped me with that a lot. He's in the chat because Peter said it's the easiest way of doing it is by using a oscilloscope. Was that what you're talking about, Barrett Dex, calibrating the colors? Because that's indeed easy. Yeah, you're right about you can damage the lower end chips if the power circuit or the capacitors are bad. So you're right about that, but it's not very often that happens. Okay, so we were about to calibrate colors. So for that I need my oscilloscope, and it's all completely put in a corner here because I'm not using it that often. But for now it's good to use it. And of course not everyone has an oscilloscope, but this is the easiest way. I think you can even calibrate colors by, see if you can, yeah, you can almost see screen it completely. I think you can do it with a multimeter, but this is the easiest way there is. I forgot which pin it was to check. Let me check. Calibrating colors issue 2. Which pin was it? I forgot which pin it was. I think just composite video, is it? I think it's just composite video. I'm being ridiculous. So you can see the screen of the oscilloscope. I think we just have to connect this to the video output. Let's see where I can grab that signal easily. Not sure if it's connected here. I see a resistor that I can connect it to. I might be causing a short if I put it there, so that's not the best. It is one of those transistors, I think, but I'm not sure. So I want to make sure if I have a good connection. get it into here. Yes, we have a proper connection now. All right. So here you can see the computed video signal. Let's move it a bit. Okay, let's click on auto. Calibrate the scope first. Okay, you can see here there's the composite video signal. And what we are going to do is we're going to make the lines as thin as possible. That's the only thing you have to do with the scope. So that's easy. Yeah, it comes it out. I have it on. Can you see what I'm doing a bit? Yeah, you can see it. I guess it's not noticeable from the camera that I'm going to clean up this signal here. So you just have to turn it until the lines are at the thinnest, and then the colors are as good as they will get. So I also already see that the colors are improving. So this will be the best we can get from an issue 2. Yeah, it's almost white, as you can see. Let's put on my keyboard. Oh, I didn't put a trickle power regulator in yet, so it's 785 is getting hot. So the colors should be quite accurate. Let's see. No more yellowing. Good, cool colors. Yes, perfect. So we like this. Yeah. So colors are calibrated. This board is done. Except for heatsink on the ULA chip. Oh, for that we need to test the tape loading first. Let's just do that because then we can do the ULA heatsink immediately after a short test. But I have to keep an eye on the 7805, which is getting really hot. Okay, tape loading works. Let's switch it off because we need to get a trickle power in. But this board is done as well. So the main problem of this board was the solder blob on top of a couple of tracks. Can do much about that, of course, but capacitors have been swapped. So last things are the trickle power. I hope I have one left here. I have to order some more, so let's put the stock box there. Right, and then we're going to get the ULA chip done. Let's put some thermal grease on it. You know, you really need only a tiny amount, so this is already a bit much, but maybe I will get some off because I know that this will cause the thermal grease to get out of the sides. I don't like that. No, 100 amperes is enough. If you want to know exactly, Google for ByteDelight power measurements, and you will see that using a static spectrum with a 1 ampere trickle power regulator is more than enough. Even the 7805 handles not more than 1 amperes by default. You can overdrive it a bit, but it will get ridiculously hot. Of course, you have the 78S05, which handles up to 2 amperes, but it's for the toast rack and +2. But trickle power for 48K is good enough, but it's not enough for a toast rack or +2. For that you need a 2 ampere version, which is quite expensive. So because the toast rack should get toasty, I usually replace the original 7805 with 78S05, so the heatsink will still get hot. That's what I like about toast racks. I don't know about you, but there's no real need of getting the heat out of a toast rack because it's already on the heatsink, you know. So that's what I think. That's my 2 cents about it. If you have another opinion, then please tell me. All right. So again, let's put a label on the ULA heatsink. So we still know which type it is in the future. It's done. And now let's get the socket out of the ULA and let's replace the 5-volt regulator. So I already heard that the speaker is working, hence I could easily check the tape loading. The only thing I don't like is that there's no transistor no power transistor for the audio output on for the speaker on issue 2, so it's very low volume, but it works. Alright, so now for the ULA check. This is the correct one. No, that's the Z80, this one here. First I'm reflowing it with the fresh leaded solder, and then we're going to remove the solder from the pins. It's a lot harder if you don't do this. And you don't need a desolder station, but it saves some time, you know. If you do it for a living, it's worth the money. The socket has been put in upside down, so someone wasn't paying attention. I've seen it a lot, by the way, in Spectrum boards, but no big deal, as long as you check the orientation of the chip itself, of course. Just looks a bit stupid. Okay, again, be very careful with cracks on the board, because fixing them is much more work than avoiding to fix them. And it's easy to damage tracks. It's another tough one. And we've got it almost out. Alright, shouldn't be any problem anymore, but it still is stuck somewhere. There it goes, gently. No, we did damage one track. Again. Stupid. 2 tracks are damaged. And I was very careful, but you see, oh, there are more tracks, sorry. Oh, man. So this is not the best job ever. But if that happens with you, I cannot blame you, because it's often very hard to get sockets like these out from old boards. So we're going to use the super glue trick again. Which for me is the easiest way of fixing the tracks again. And I do hate when this happens, because it's double the amount of work, you know. I don't like it at all. But what can you do about it? Okay, let's put it in first. Now let's put some super glue on a piece of paper or plastic, and have to slide it over the tracks here, so it will stick on the board again. That's one. Second one is on the other side, but that's not too bad. Not much going on here. It's good enough. Still, I will add some super glue on top. Alright, the other 2 are underneath here. So you can get mad because of this, but you know, it will happen from time to time, and it's not the biggest issue if you know what you're doing. The main problem with this is that what I really dislike is you're damaging an original board, and that's the prettiest thing about it. But anyway, okay, it's the third one. So you can see it's not too much work of fixing this. Just make sure you're having the correct tools around. I wish I had a better camera to show you what I'm doing. Please again, let me know, do you think that I need to order another good camera? Alright. I really love super glue. It's so useful. I use it a lot. Okay. Now the remaining question is if we need to add some jumper wires for connections. Oh, there's one more damaged. I need to fix one more here, but I don't think this actually really needs a jumper wire to make sure it still gets contact to the pad on the board. No, 4K is too much, but an HD camera would be better. So as I was telling, I was using the camera that I'm now using at the test corner, but I was using that camera for the for the overview. So I will find another HD camera. But the problem is that I think they're asking too much for simple webcams, you know. But I will source one. So next time, a couple of days, it will be better. So let's get some jumper wires. Okay, maybe I will just keep it like it is now, because I don't want you guys to look at my fingers, you know. No, I don't mind. I make mistakes. I won't lie about that. So the first wire is in. And if you don't have this wire, you can buy an 80 wire IDE cable that I still have in stock. It's on the ZX Spectrum.shop. But again, the problem is that shipment is crazy nowadays. So if you only need a cable, it's not worth the money, I guess. But if you need something else like a ZX Dia card, then please get one from the web shop, ZX Spectrum.shop, the one and only. And thanks for the people who ordered a Dia card yesterday during the stream. Really helps me out. I'm happy that people dare to work on their own repairs themselves, which is great. Because I don't have the time to do everything, you know. It's not I. So I don't mind if you do your own. Alright, so these wires maybe might not all be needed, but it's just to making sure that once the ULA chip is in, that I'm certain that all connections are there. Otherwise we have to bother about new bugs. I don't like that. Okay, let's see. See one small short here. Okay, I think it's gone. So one more and then we're done. This is a good cleaning method. I like it. Alright, that was the last wire. Alright. Okay, we can put in the ULA chip now. Which might be a bit hard because some holes seem to be filled up a bit. It should get in. Yeah. Looks great. hope it works fine after this. Otherwise I will have to get it out again. Right. Okay, now the voltage regulator, and we can do another test. Right. What do you think? Will it work? I live in Eindhoven, which is about 1.5 hours from Amsterdam, depending on where you're at in Amsterdam, because it can be very busy there. Hey Jan, good afternoon. So I sometimes accept pickups of orders, but usually it's not very useful because of the time involved for the people who are picking it up. And within Holland, shipping costs aren't that high, so I can also ship it to him if you want to. Oh, I forgot to switch cameras. Let's just do that. Right. Let's do a quick test and see if it works. Phew, it works. Okay, let's do a fourth test then. First, let's do diagnostic test again before doing anything else. And then we will do another tape loading test. This all looks very good. Not too bad. Let's see the results. So the M1 line is also working. I can see it in blinking M1 LED here, so that should mean that the FMSC interface will work. Let's check it out. Yep. No sweat. So all is good. Let's load again. Nice. Another completely working board. No, it's the shipping outside Holland is not that expensive, except for small parts nowadays. So I'm not allowed to send small parts by letter mail anymore. So like this here. So this is what I did in the past. But I'm not allowed to do that anymore. So this will also be sent by DPD, which is to UK is €7 something. But in the past I could send a chip only, for example, for €2. So the price of the stamps. Sorry, on a chip or RAM chips or something, but I'm not allowed to do it anymore. So now I have to send even small packets by as a package, and you can send something as a package worldwide without track and trace if you want to. That's the cheapest option, of course, but then you don't have any. But what I want to say is it's about 3 or 4 times more expensive than just using stamps. So they really fricked it up for many people and many web shops who were sending small stuff like jewelry or something, you know, fake jewelry, of course, because real jewelry made of gold or something, you won't send it by standard mail, of course. But anyway, so bigger stuff, for example, letterboxes are still quite affordable to send to any country. So within the European Union, for some countries it's only €7 something, and to Portugal and some other countries it's €12, and worldwide it's maybe €20. So that's still doable, but the small packs are increased in price a real lot, and that's just ridiculous. So anyway, what can you do about it? Some people are complaining, I think, I guess. So maybe there will be some change in the future, but knowing PostNL, it won't change at all. That's my experience with them. All right. Let me just write down. I will source another webcam. Not now. Okay, so this board is working well. So let's see what we can do next. Oh, that's great. The brace tool fits exactly where the sponge was, so that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, perfect. And we have a game. Nice. Right, that works. This board is done. So we have 3 boards done. And then next question is, what should we do next? So I have lots of things here. Oh, it will stop automatically. By the way, I also got these new gamepads. These ones here. I just got in one yesterday, and those will most probably replace the Sega gamepad clones that I'm selling now in the web shop, because those are quite crappy. But I'm not sure, so I have to test this one. It feels a lot better than the Sega gamepad. Except that this one is grey and not black. I prefer the black, but anyway, I will check for quality and we'll come back to that. Let me check what else I can do for now. I have to open my email client for that, because all the info is in there, but I don't want you to get all the noise from the email client once it's started. Why is it not showing up? Okay, you heard the ka-ching, ka-ching again. Another die card. Someone ordered one during the stream, I guess. Thank you for that, of course. Very, very important for me. Let me check. All right. Let's get to the emails about the repairs I have to do. So, let's see. I have a toast rack. No, that's not true. I have a ZX Spectrum to repair for Fernando. Let me check if I can find it easily. This is Oliver. What was this again? Let me check. Which was this? I have to sit down, otherwise I will fall. Let me check which repair is this, because I'm not sure what's in the box before deciding which will come next. Why can't I find any info about this one? Olivier. It's a board repair, so... Oh wait, that's he ordered it on the web shop, so it's in another folder. Okay, it's a board repair, so let's do that. But I guess my wife will call me in a minute to get to dinner. So let's open this box and see what's in here. I will not show you the address from the customer, of course. All right.
Alright, so let's get to the work desk. So we have here a ZX Spectrum from Portugal, made in Portugal it says on the back. And I guess this is an issue for S, made by Samsung. I'm not sure. And because I'm lazy, I'm getting the screws out by this IKEA drill. Very useful, got 3 of them. Let's get a bag for the screws, so we'll lose them. Some garbage here, but we'll clean it up later. Alright. I'm not watching the chat at this moment, so let's do that. Alright, so, okay. So for one, the keyboard membrane wasn't put in. It's an original membrane, so that needs to be replaced. There's a lower RAM replacement board, which I personally don't like, because it's not original anymore. It's different. There's no screw in the middle, so we will do that before sending it back. And let's see what's in his letter. Does it say anything about problems he has? I don't think so. Alright, so he did order the board repair service, which is great, but he didn't ask for replacement of the membrane, and I guess I have to talk about that with him because there's an original membrane in. Ugh. The soldering job for the lower memory module isn't the best I've seen, so I wonder if it works, because it's very flat to the board, as you can see. And I wonder if there are no shorts underneath. I don't think so. There don't seem to be any, but okay, so it could work. But I wonder what if he wants to keep this in or something else. But the repair is, ugh. There's a lot of solder joints as far as I can see. The first thing that is noticeable is that there are solder joints. Oh man, it's a mess. So before doing anything else, let's put this over and let's do some cleaning, because there's a lot of flux on the board and there's a lot of solder remainders, blobs and shorts and all kinds of things. And so that could cause all kinds of problems, you know. So for the people who like alcohol, like myself, let's do a good clean. That looks 10 times better already. And I buy the IPA by the bottles from 1 liter, so I have 4 liters of IPA in stock, so it's no problem how much I use. It's not expensive, it's cheap stuff, but it's 99% alcohol, so. Right, it's a lot better, but it is clear that there are some joints. There's one joint, where is it? Here's one joint, and there are some clear joints. I will show you. So I say it's 75% sure that there's a joint there that shouldn't be there, but I was mistaken. So there's no joint, obviously. Okay, no joint there. So maybe it's not as bad as I thought, but I cannot check the upper side because the module's over it. So it's kind of a hard decision what I should do now, because the top doesn't look good. Oh man,
No, I really should get this off. Okay, I will get it off because I can see that the top is even worse. Top part of the board, so we have to do more work on this one. uh, 5 liters, yeah, man, it's a better way. With tonic, I don't think you should drink IPA, Peter. Vodka, maybe. Oh, what percentage is vodka, by the way? Because that's one of the cheapest alcohol you can can obtain. That's the only reason I'm saying that. So I'm going to try to get off the memory replacement board. Yeah. I really hope it will get out easily. But most probably it will be a hassle. Okay, I think it's all loose. Should be. There is some movement, so that's good. Not enough yet. And because normal pinheader pins are used, it's really hard to make enough space around the pins so they're loose. So I'm not powering up this board at all because it's clearly not done that well. So I want to install this properly first, and then we'll see what happens after that. Okay, board is off. I can see some shorts. Yeah, those are clear shorts. There's some shorts on the top of the board, so this would have never worked. But it's really no big deal. I think the guy who did it tried his best, so I'm not angry or something. It's just that there seem to be some shorts that will not make this board work correctly. And I can imagine if this was your best already, then it would be very hard to find the error and fix it. So I won't discourage people to work on their own boards. I really encourage you to doing that, but make sure the quality is good enough. Use a magnifier or something to check for shorts. It's always good. This is a very simple one I use here, and it's good enough. 40%, okay. So
So vodka is 40%. Okay. I never tried vodka. I want to try it once, but my wife said there's no taste on vodka. Doesn't taste. You don't taste anything. So I see lots of scratches and dents in tracks, so it's hard to actually know if the tracks are all okay. So I think I'm going to do some measurements to make sure about that. So the capacitors need to be replaced as well, although these ones doesn't seem to be original. No, these are new ones. So the capacitors have been replaced except for this one here. So I will replace that one. And maybe I will replace all because he ordered the service for refurbishment, and replacing the capacitors is included anyway. And I don't know how old these capacitors are, so I think it's just good to give them the full service. Except we have to talk about the membrane. It's it has not been replaced, and it's an issue 2 keyboard. So the easy one with the, how do you call it? The metal pins that you can move to the side. So that's an easy fix, easy membrane replacement. All right. So I probably will put back the Retro-AM 16K memory replacement kit, but I want to make sure all the tracks are okay. Why is your lower RAM and pain in the ass to replace, Lewis? Let me just give you an idea of the top. This camera is not doing a great job, I know, but I will show them the 4K camera then. That will be better. If it wants to focus. Come on, camera. This is so stupid. Yeah, there it goes. So I've done some cleaning already. There are still some blobs and other garbage on it. So, but you can see this wasn't the best job of replacing the lower RAM with this upgrade replacement kit. Okay. Let's do a close inspection. Let's see what else needs to be done here. Let's do clean again. Top part clean. Yep. All right. It's a lot better. That is really a lot better, but there are some scratches that make me doubt if the tracks are okay, so I really have to check the tracks. There's even, I think, a track not connected to a pad at the left here, so let's check it out. Oh, yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, you see, this track is not connected to the pad at all. So because that what the track was really needed for the module to work correctly, that's one reason that this machine will not boot at all, I guess. Where are my wires? Young Lewis. Okay. I do wonder what age you started with Zonic Spectrums then. If you want to share that with us, I am curious. How long ago was that? And the good thing is that you kept all the machines, if I understand correctly. I didn't. I sold some stuff that I'm really that I really regret, like my Disciple interface with drives and all the floppies I had back then. I sold it once, and I really regret I ever did that, because that was the best time in my youth when I had that set up with Toast Rack with Disciple disk interface and the floppies, and man, I really like that a lot. But I sold it once, I think just before or just after the DiffMC came to the market. And I shouldn't have done that. Or DiffIDE back then, of course. It wasn't the DiffMC. If you're curious about how the DiffMC interface and ESX-DOS came to life, then Google for ByteDelight ESX-DOS or DiffMC story, and you will get to the complete story, because I interviewed Michael Guerrero and Mario Prado about it, so from Spain and Italy, and it's a real awesome story to read, and I'm really glad those guys wanted to help me with writing that story. It's really worth spending half an hour or something on to read it. And there are also some pictures about their very early setups and prototypes of those interfaces. Yeah, so the brass solder cleaner, solder iron cleaner is a keeper. It will stay here because it's a lot better than using the sponge in the water. I think I got this from eBay, and it's really cheap. So it's only €2 something. So if you want to try it out as well, then there's no excuse. Go ahead and find it. So brass solder iron cleaner or something like that. Okay, so let's do quick measurements of all the pins here. Yep, and yep. So I think we're okay, because I measured enough lines to know that the module will work. I just said Mario Prado, and I see he posted on Facebook. That's a coincidence. So I sent Mario several versions of the DiffMC and Joy interfaces that I made in the past, so we can see the progress and the new features that were added later on. Okay, so I think we can put back the replacement board here. I don't have an install manual, and I absolutely don't know how to install it, so maybe I should check it out. Nice. What is Anang? I don't know what Anang is. But first I need to check out that upgrade kit. I have no idea how to install it. Retro Liam 16K upgrade, something like that.
I got a, yeah, I got a, no, it's upgrade, sorry, don't need upgrade, I need the replacement. Chips. How is it called? Lower RAM replacement, okay? Lower RAM replacement. Okay, I got a PDF here. Yes. Okay, so all the information I have. And this board seems to be different. No, no. Why is the board different? Oh god. It's completely different. Dang. Alright, but I think I can figure it out. Yeah, I know what he's. I think I know what he's doing. It's not the biggest issue. Okay. Okay. You got several versions, so maybe this is an older version. Is there a version on the board? No, there's no version on the board. Why not? Is there a newer version, maybe? Nope. Oh god. Okay. Is this the version that is offered on Selma Retro? It's still in stock, and it's a different version. So I have no idea which version I have here. No, I don't know which version I have here. So he made several versions, and I don't know which this one is. Here's a. What? Okay, the Wayback Machine, I don't need that. Okay, so I clearly have to guess, do some guessing. That's not really guessing, I know what I'm doing, but I wish I had a proper manual with it. I see another version here, which looks more like the one I'm holding, but not completely the same, so it's still different. But because it has a web page, yeah, it has a web page. It seems to be this is one of the last issues, but there's no information here, so I can just add it to the basket, shopping basket. But that's not what I want. All right. So, is there more information about this, or should I just try it? I'm looking for pictures on Google to see if I can find a similar board, but I can't find any that looks identical to this one. So that's a pity. Nope. That's not useful. Alright, so let's get back to the website and the PDF I found. So what I can see is where one of the wires go. So I can... no, that's not easy. Yeah, well... I don't think there's any question about it. Oh, it must go in this way. It cannot. This must be the way, because there's no other way of getting it in. And there is a pin 1 indicator, so I guess that's what I need. Let's see if we can push it through. So I fixed one wire. We solder one point here and then the other one at the other side. Yes. Okay, so I'm soldering them just with the pins on the surface and not more than that. So it still is flat on the board and not in an angle.
and then I'll dare to test it. So that's what we're going to do in a second. Just before my wife calls me. I bet she's calling me in a couple of minutes. Alright. I have to do some more cleaning later on, but I don't think there are any joints now. Still some garbage on top or on the bottom, so let's clean up a bit more. Okay. So, what do you think? Will this work? I'm not talking about the ugliest composite video mod I've ever seen, but right. So, what do you think? Will the board work with the module reinstalled properly? And let's see if there are no other strange things here. Capacitors are not the best job as well, so I wonder if everything will work, but we have to find out. Oh, there are more solder joints. I can see it clearly. Oh, there's a connection there. Alright, so more cleaning to do first. That was because of the replacement of the capacitor, which is not done very well, but I think it's good enough for now for initial testing. Okay, well, I will get off the heatsink first and see what this board actually does, and if it gives any video output, because I don't know that. So what do you think? What are the odds? Let me know. What do you think? Let's first do a quick test to see if we get any video output. Oops, that's bad. Okay, so I see voltage problems. I see, so there's no 12 volts. That's what I saw. Or the 12 volts not completely 12 volts. No, indeed. No 12 volts. No minus 5 volts. So there are still a couple of problems. So let's measure the 12 volt and the minus 5 volt lines. So do some measurements first. Where is my multimeter? Okay. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with minus 5 volt, not according to, oh sorry, this is wrong. Now it's correct. Let's see again. Okay, 2.2 mega ohms on minus 5 volts. So let's check 12 volts. 800 ohms. That's. I'm not sure if that's okay. I'm doubting a bit. So let's get out the two voltage circuit transistors. Put in new ones. Ouch. Hot. Very hot. Just like me. Joking. Come on, get open. Okay. Yeah, I think it's 12. I clearly see that 12 volt is missing, and minus 5 volt as well. But the issue is that because there are no lower RAM chips in this board, only the SRAM module, that cannot cause the 12 volt to be pulled down, and the 5 volts as well. So, of course, it still can because of shorts, but or a module might be defective. But I guess it's the power circuit here. So let's replace those two and see if we can get it to life. So again, I sell TR4 and 5 as a kit as well. Just the postage is a big problem nowadays. Okay, let's see. I forgot the camera, sorry. Let's hope there are no shorts on 12 volts. I thought the 800 ohms is a bit low. We got a picture. Let's see if nothing burns. Nothing burns yet. Let's see if the voltages are present. Yeah, the voltages are present. So we got more of a success, but it's doing this now. I'm not sure why. Okay, so M1 is working, IO request is working, sorry, memory request is working, read is working, all the data lines are acting. So there's no data line hanging or something, all the voltages are present. So the question now is what is dead, what is defective? I guess it's the ULA chip. So we are going to test the ULA chip in a working board. And yesterday I told that if the ULA chip is dead, then it needs to be replaced by a new one, and it's not included in the refurbishment price. But I can put a new one for another one in, of course, and I still have some things like Nebula in stock, also from Ritualeum, because this guy clearly doesn't seem to bother about using the Ritualeum stuff. There's no reason I'm not offering him. Okay, ULA is working, so that's not the cause as well. What could it be then? Well, I guess it's at 80, which is a bit odd because it's doing something. And I have no idea if the lower RAM is actually working on this board here, because I have no way of testing that. So I wonder what to do now, because I can't see activity on the signals, all signals. So I wonder. What can I do? What should it be? What could it be? I had the feeling that what you're seeing is maybe some signal or NMI hanging on something. Let's see, because I think could do the same with diagnostic cartridge, so maybe it's a signal hanging. Maybe this one. Why isn't the keyboard working? Okay, now. Okay, let's check if it's. No, so it's not NMI or something, what we see with this board. So I'm not sure what it could be. So my first guess would be Z80, but still we don't know anything about about the lower RAM, you know. So I think it's a Z80. That's my best guess, but I'm not sure. What do you think, guys? The clock going into Z80. Well, I can see that there's a clock. I can clearly see that because on pin 6, because I can see that there is activity. So I know for sure that there's a clock, but I'm going to test it anyway. This is a 4A board. 4A. And the clock is in pin 6, I think. Yep. Let's see. But I don't think it's a clock. Pin 6. We'll do a check with the multimeter, the easy way. I can put on the oscilloscope as well, of course, but let's do it the easy way. So it's on the frequency. Come on. It's on frequency mode at the moment. Let's put it on pin 6, 4, 5, 6, and it says 2.9 megahertz, but it's changing. That's odd. It's fluctuating. That's not what I expected. What should it be? .5 megahertz. So it does seem to have something to do with the clock. But then I wonder what could cause that. One of the transistors, maybe. So the clock is way lower than the nominal and fluctuating. So that's no good. Let's get the schematic out again. So let's see, the clock is coming from the ULA, from pin 32, it's fed into TR3, so we can replace TR3, that could be a cause. Yeah, that would be the easiest thing to try. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think we're going to try to replace TR3 and see what happens. Exactly, Lewis. TR3. I've seen it die before, so it's not a first. Still, there could be something wrong with the clock circuit before the ULA chip. But this is an easy test. I think it's a 313, is it? Yes. Plenty of those. These are all tested, so it's easy to pick. Oh, that's a good one. Of course, we can measure the clock pulse, the clock signal going into the ULA chip. That's a good one. Okay. It's in. So let's do a quick test before doing anything else. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure if it's actually the clock. It might be the ULA chip that's getting in trouble because of other problems, lower RAM problems, for example. But it's still the same. I guess this will do the same as well. I think we have to check the diacards manual, because I think this is a sign of something. The error what you see when you boot the system up with the diagnostic card on it. So let's check it out. Manual, diacard, the spectrum, random, Halford.
I've seen information about that before. Okay, I thought I had a manual in my own documentation. So let's check. Settings diet card. Did I put it underneath that folder? Documentation. Archive. No, it's not here. Nope. Schematic. Okay, let me check if I can find the manual. I have it somewhere, but I don't know where I kept it. Direct manual. RAM tester. Yeah, I got it here. Okay. So this is I think something I downloaded. This is from Paul Ferro. That's odd. So it might not be the same. No, I don't think it's the same. Okay, so this is another one I need. Where did I get that manual in the past? Is it just on this GitHub? Could be. Introduction. ROM checker utility. Look. I think I found it. Okay, so what we have here is exactly what we're seeing. The firmware checksum operation has failed. An address line is stuck low or high, so that's the most probable cause. So we have to check that. And so this is exactly what I've seen before in the manual. Hence I knew I have to check it here. So we have to find out what is causing the issue, and I think we just will measure the address lines one by one. It's only 16 lines, so it's not a big problem, and see if we can find the cause there. I hope so. Okay, we'll do that, but I have to wait until after dinner. I hope I can go on tonight, but I might just spend some time with the kids first. So you might see me back to this evening. Otherwise, tomorrow. I hope early in the day. So we will see about that. All right. So thank you for watching for now. My YouTube studio is getting mad. Anyway, thank you for watching now. I hope you will be back when I continue with this board. And I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.